Steph, how would you describe the physicality of the game, just in terms of what the officials were letting go, how they were defending you on both ends?
I kind of like that kind of basketball. I think it was consistent on both sides, even though it was more physical than other games that we've seen recently. But as long as they establish style of play and stay consistent with that, we have no problems with it. It wasn't too much, arguing or worried about the calls. It was kind of you settled into the type of game and just try to figure out a way to win.
It looks like you got kind of a shiner on your right eye. I assume that didn't happen at your birthday party?
That would have been a good story, but no. No worries, though. It's the old you should see the other guy joke.
How would you assess Draymond's night-night performance? And he said he looked at you, and it's when he started thinking about it. Did you kind of want him to do that?
Since I didn't score, I wasn't really looking at the clock. I did know he's evolved his version of it since the Minnesota game earlier in the year. He softened it a little bit. He's brought it down to where a pillow is supposed to really be. He realized he does everything aggressive and with his whole body. So I'm giving that a solid A- effort on the night tonight. That was beautiful.
And one other, you and Steve were both saying 6th seed was the goal not too long ago when it seemed like a far away. Now you're the 6th. Obviously, you've got teams behind you, but 4 is now not too far away. Are you allowing yourself to think about trying to get to the 4 seed?
Honestly, I haven't. I mean, I looked at since we've been in the 6th. That's been a great floor for us right now, knowing that we still don't have any real. Comfort room or safety net right now. We have to keep winning. I've been locking in on like a streak. We won 7 in a row. So you got to control what we can control, knowing that I know Houston, Minnesota, above and below us they've been playing really well and winning too. So you can only do what you can control, and that's just win as many games as possible and take advantage of this home stand. So been locking in on that, really, not thinking about anything else.
Hi, Steph. When you run those inverted pick and roll actions with Jimmy, are there any unique advantages he creates?
Yeah, he sees the whole floor. He can take up space. They have to make a decision, whether they're going to switch or whether they're going to go under, show and get back to me. There's like 4 different ways you can guard it. But he's very good at just staying under control, making the right play. You could tell he doesn't really look to score as much right now just because he's reading the defense, taking what they're giving him. But having the ball in his hands is usually a good thing.
Thank you.
Steph, you guys are 14-1 over the last 15, and we know how you felt pre-trade deadline. Do you feel a sense of rejuvenation over the last 3 weeks?
Winning is fun, so absolutely. And it's contagious. You convince yourself that you can win on a nightly basis, no matter if it's a 97-94 game or a 130-120 game or whatever it is. Fast pace, grind it out like we've developed an identity over the last 15 that has allowed us to either, have those games where we're just firing on all cylinders on both ends of the floor, or we can win ugly. And a good team usually does that. A good team wins games that we're winning, even no matter what the schedule looks like. So I'm excited about where we're at.
There was a shot in the first half, I believe. It was a three-pointer where I think you got hit on the arm and it still went in. How did you get that up, and how do you think you got that particular shot to go in?
At the end of the half? I don't know which one.
I think it was at the end of the half. You got pushed on the arm and then it.
Oh yeah, muscle memory. I don't really overthink as long as it goes in. Just muscle memory takes over.
Hello, Stephen. So yesterday is your birthday. Happy birthday first, and it's also the World Sleep Day. And
the
World Sleep Day. World Sleep Day. Yeah. So your
World Sleep Day.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And your. And
makes
you're
sense.
famous, the post the 9-9 stuff. So, how much you care about your sleep and as an athlete, how important it is to you?
That's the most important thing. Prepares your mind and your body to go to compete at a high level. It's hard when you got 4 kids running around the house at times, but you find a way to prioritize that. And honestly, any vet that I've talked to that's played double-digit years and has had longevity as their calling card says that that's the most important thing. So, yeah.
Steph, how much of a test is Monday, Tuesday challenge, I guess, maybe, to play the teams like the Nuggets and the Bucks back-to-back, and particularly teams with good big guys like that? I mean, Cat poses problems tonight. He obviously got Jokic, Giannis. I mean, as much as you guys are rolling, you're never going to be a particularly big team. Is that how do you view sort of that hurdle to get over?
Yeah, you got to make the necessary adjustments. It's not going to be one person guarding either one of those guys. Milwaukee was our first. We played them first, right? Denver. Oh, excuse me. Well, we know Jokic. We've been in series with him. He's had some crazy numbers against us, but it's not going to be one person guarding him. Draymond's up for the task, but it's going to take a 5-person effort at whoever's on the floor to be in unison. Really, the challenge is just, can we adapt to the strengths of another good team? And nobody's going to shut him down, but can you do whatever it takes and do enough to, get a win, no matter how it looks? So you never know who you'll be matched up with in a playoff series if we get there. And these are good opportunities and reps, and we want to keep winning.
I guess my follow-up to that is you've always had success with small lineups, but how is it different with Jimmy as part of this small lineup?
I mean, just our starting unit, we've had Gee, QP floating as the 5th guy, but it allows Draymond obviously to play the 5. Jimmy's, he's a wing, but he's sneaky with his presence. And like I said, it's not just going to be Draymond, you on the block with Jokic, just have fun. It's going to be everybody playing that cat and mouse game, trying to use our speed to our advantage. And if we can get stops and rebound, then we have a lot of guys that can push and transition, who can make plays, Draymond, Jimmy included.
Steve said pregame that you were the one to give him a game ball after his very first win back, I think it was against Sacramento, and then he got a really nice game ball tonight from the Adel semi. Can you kind of just describe that first game ball and the one that's the historic win tonight?
It just speaks to the success we've had over these last, decade plus, and, special for the Adels family, knowing what Al meant to not just the organization, but the entire Bay Area community, everybody who's been a part of Warrior basketball for the last, 5 decades. So to have her here, have the family here, very symbolic of, just the journey. And I'm sure Coach is very honored to have the torch passed to him, in that record and what it means to represent this organization. So hopefully he still has the first game ball and he can put him right in between a nice bottle of wine tonight and have a good celebration.
Your title teams were, like top 5 defensive type teams. Still a small sample since Jimmy's been here, but you guys are a top 5 defense. How real does it feel, especially on a night like tonight, 94 points?
Well, first, most championship contending teams are top 10 in both, and no matter what the style is, like they have the results to show for it. And we have some tough lineups we can throw out there defensively down the stretch. I'll take myself out of it, but you got GP, Jimmy, Draymond, Moses, who's really been an amazing point of attack defender, and you kind of pick your poison with those 4 guys, and I got to do my job. So, Draymond's playing, he always plays bigger than he is. Our versatility to be able to, switch. keep the ball in front has been great, so you don't have to overhelp as much. But from night to night, like making the adjustments, and really it's about locking in on the game plan, because you can have all the tools, but if you don't have the execution behind it, then you're going to have some slippage, and we've done a really good job of our preparation, and it's showing.
Steph, Chris Sasaki from NBA Rakuten in Tokyo. Congratulations the previous game on 4,000 three-pointers. I know in your career that you've seen many, many coverages, and in Sacramento they were top blocking you, and today it was more in the drop coverage and pick and roll. Maybe the Denver series might be different. Jokic might show up to the three-point line. And my question is, it really stood out how fast you're reading the drop coverage today. It was actually a missed shot in the fourth quarter, about 6 minutes. It was a drop coverage. You gave it back, and it was a handoff. And you went into a shot. How much is that like instinctual? Like, is it just like your nerve system reacting, or is it reading the actual? You see it, and then you try to move.
It's your basketball knowledge is phenomenal, so I appreciate the in-depth kind of description of it. It's exactly what we try to do. You got to figure out what the defense is doing. You have actions that can counter, whether they're blitzing, you get the ball out, you get a 4-on-3 on the backside. Last game we had a couple, our pet plays where whoever set the screen gets in the pocket, somebody on the baseline is going up for a lob. The play you're talking about where I missed, that's not just me. That's also, it was, I think it was Kevon. He saw that they kind of came out on like a semi or half show blitz. I got it back to him, and he knew they were out of position. He came right back for a dribble handoff, and it's a shot that we love and will take no matter what part of the game it's in. So doing this for a long time, you have all those actions. As long as we're under control and I'm seeing the floor, usually good things happen. And whether I'm getting the shot or whether we're getting somebody, on the backside, it's a great way to create open looks.
Steph, here's an off-court question, and this speaks to your presence in the community. Your foundation is about to partner with Flow Water to purify water throughout the Oakland Unified School District. That said, if you could just share with me or with us just your soft spot for Oakland, because it seems like any issue, bam, your foundation is on it.
We're blessed to have the resources, fundraising, the trust to come in, especially now that we've targeted, work within the Oakland Unified School District. I remember back, I don't know how many years ago, it was at McClymonds, and they were having the lead water problem, and we were able to do some stuff with a partner of ours, and now thinking about we just try to listen to the community, listen to the school district on where need really is, and try to show up appropriately. And it means the world to us that we make some, if it's a little bit of impact for one school or the, multiples of thousands of kids that are showing up. It's where they go to eat, learn, play every single day. And so it's we're blessed and grateful to be able to have an impact. And we said we plant our flag in Oakland, and we'll always have our presence there.